Hey there, welcome to day 5 of my 90-day n8n challenge. So, a quick recap. On day 4, we learned about JSON, that big, scary sounding word that's really just a simple contact card for our data. It's made up of keys, or the labels, and values, which is the data itself. We now know what data looks like. But what good is it? What good is a contact card if it's permanently stuck in that first node? How do we get the data from node 1 over to node 2? Right now, our workflow is like a new employee who can only say hello. We wanted to teach it to read a name tag and say hello Alex or maybe hello Professor McSnuggles. So today we learned how to build that magic link. It's called an expression and it's how you make your workflows smart. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's draw what we want to build. I'm going to start with two boxes or our two nodes that is connected by an arrow. All right, so what is this? This is our basic workflow. We know data flows from node 1 to node 2. Now I'm going to draw what's inside node 1 after it runs. Let's say it creates a contact card. So node 1 runs and it creates this JSON data. We learned this yesterday, right? It has two keys, name and email, and two values, Professor McSnuggles and his very professional email address. Now let's look at node 2. Now node 2 wants to use this data. It wants to create a new message that says, hello, Professor McSnuggles. See the problem? Node 2 needs to ask for a specific piece of data. It doesn't want the whole contact card. It doesn't care about the email, right? It only wants the value from the name key. To get it, we need to use a magic link, all right? Or what's really called an expression. Watch this. This is the magic address. This is the most important thing you learn for a while. It's called an expression, okay? First, it's wrapped in these double curly braces. These braces are a signal to n8n. They mean, hey, don't just treat this as normal text. This is a command. I want you to go find something. And what's the command? It's inside this term. So let's break that down, all right? Because it's so simple. The $sign just means start here, all right? The JSON part refers to all the JSON data that's flowing in from the node before it, all right? And then the dot name is you, the boss, pointing and saying, and from all that data, I want you to only get the value that's inside the key named name. That's it. It's an address, okay? Go to the main JSON data, find the name key, and give me whatever is inside. And poof, it grabs Professor McSnuggles. So let's go build this in n8n right now. Okay, let's create a new workflow. Okay, here we are, a new workflow. Let's build our two nodes. First, I'm just gonna add a trigger. Remember, we always need a trigger, and this time we're gonna have a manual trigger. Okay. Now, we're gonna work with two nodes. I'm gonna add a set node or edit fields node, and I'm just gonna close this. Okay, so this is our node 1. I'm going to open it and then I'm going to add the values or add the fields. Okay, for the name field or our key, I'm going to type first name, and for the value, let's use our friend Professor McSnuggles. I'll make sure it's set to string, which just means text. Great. Now let's add our second worker node. I'm going to click the plus after our first set node and then add another set node. All right, so this is node 2. This is the one that's going to use the data. I'm going to open its settings and then I'm going to add a field. I'm going to name this new value reading. Okay, and for the value box, watch closely. First, I'm just gonna type the text hello, okay, with a space in the end. All right, so now I'm gonna go to the input section, and here it says execute previous nodes because we didn't run the previous node. So I'm just gonna hit this run. So I'm just gonna drag and drop this inside the value. And boom, look at that. n8n wrote the magic address for us. It now says hello JSON.firstName in curly brackets. This is exactly what we just drew before, right? The double curly brackets tell n8n it's a command, and JSON.firstName is the address to get the value from the first name key. This is called an expression. All right, so moment of truth. Let's run this whole thing. I'm gonna test this by executing step, and boom, there it is. It created one key, which is greeting, and then the value is hello Professor McSnuggles. It worked. It pulled the data from node 1 and dynamically used it in node 2. This is the absolute core of all automation. So we just made our workflow smart. We can also rename our nodes. I'm just going to select this and hit spacebar. This is node 1 and this is node 2. All right, and that's day 5. We are officially linking nodes together. We learned about expressions, those magic double curly braces. We now know how to take data from any node and use it in any future node. This means our workflows are no longer static and dumb. They are now dynamic and smart. We can now personalize anything. So we've learned about workflows, we learned about nodes, triggers, JSON, and finally expressions. We have all the building blocks. So tomorrow on day 6, we're gonna put everything from this first week together. We're gonna build our first actually useful automation, a simple workflow that sends you a custom email. It's a small project, but it uses every single concept we've learned. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for following along. I'll see you for day 6.